for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself, I felt it in.
Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. We have an awesome episode for y'all today. We know that the NBA Finals was yesterday. It kicked off. There was another head coach hire. So we got things to talk about. I'm Joe Jordan. I got two of my bros with me, Dave Dollars and Tomo. What's good, fellas?
What's going on? I'm feeling great, man. People thinking I was gonna miss it. I gotta address this comment first. I'm not here for personal reasons. Trust me. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I might not talk trash, but I don't duck nothing. I ducks nothing. So I'm here. But I'm here. We lost game one. As I predicted, I picked the Nuggets to win. But it's Friday, so turn me up. Turn me up. Up. Hey, like Joe said, we had another head coaching hire. Game one was last night. Game two Sunday. Let's get it.
Man, Dave more fired up than somebody in the Heat locker room right now, man. I'm doing good, man. I'm going to just feed off of your energy today, man. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good, man. Dave got us turned up. Let's start, man. I'm ready to kick this thing off. So, look, y'all, make sure y'all like this video on Facebook. Well, we are streaming this on 3 platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Like on all 3 platforms. Share on all 3 platforms. Follow and subscribe on all 3 platforms. We are sitting at 699 subscribers right now. We are 1 away from 700. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, subscribe. And you be Mr. or Mrs. 700. Use that comment section. We can see all the comments y'all will be putting down throughout the show. Trust me, the show is not the same without the comments. I'm going to say it again. We had a show without the comments one time, and I don't know, man. We started hot potatoing the show. We was looking like Jaylen Brown in Game 7. So make sure y'all use that comment section. We're going to put them on the screen, and we'll respond to the ones that make sense. All right, shout out to Darren for being here early. And Tomo, talk about those IG chats. Hey, it's crazy today. Talk about those chats we got going on.
Facts, it was crazy today.
Look. If y'all think Dave amped up right now, just imagine what happens when you join these Instagram chats. Let me get the business side out the way before I tell you all what went down today. So again, if you're listening and you're new to the show, you can hit us up, be a part of these chats. These chats, again, are just like the comments. They help this show flourish. You could hit us up. Man, I was about to say something else. I almost had a moment. Y'all can hit us up on Instagram at Refuse to Lose Sports. That's Refuse, the number 2 Lose Sports. And the chats we have to offer. Again, first of all, let me tell you a little bit too. With these chats, you get the latest news, updates, and everything before any of your, I want to say, sports applications. Man, even before the ticker comes up on ESPN if you're watching SportsCenter, right? And we got NBA/WNBA. We got the NFL chat. Again, shout out to baseball with Teddy. We got the Major League Baseball, or MLB for short. We got college football, college basketball, both men's and women's. We have boxing, sprinkled in with a little bit of UFC, and of course a dab of wrestling. And for my wrestling fans, I know I take some shots, but the way these debates happen, you would think we was wrestling or sparring. Because today it seemed like someone made an accidental phone call in the Refuse to Lose chat. That's that VIP chat. And this is why that phone call was made. These are the things that you get when you come on the show. You be a part of these exclusive phone calls, and you can also create a topic that can be on the show. Phone call happens, man, by accident, and it seems like we ended up on the call for almost about 6 hours. It's about a 6-hour call. I don't know how anybody got no work done. I was listening for the most part, but I don't know how anybody got any work done. So it must have been a free day. I ain't telling on nobody, but yeah, it was a good call, a healthy discussion. I don't know where everybody stands with that, but I think the last thing we talked about was ended up Bradley Beal getting traded. So that's how you know we went from talking about Jokic being the best player in the world to Bradley Beal getting traded. We should have recorded that, Joe.
That is like two sides of the spectrum.
Two total different sides.
Man.
Like how you get there? Like there's no connection between those two.
But if
All
you
right.
join the chats, then you'll figure it out.
Exactly. It was crazy. It got real heated. People were screaming at the phone. You know, I was one of them. I was hot and bothered. So it's one of them chats, man. Like you just round and like a barbershop talk, but way more exclusive because everybody in there has a good sports mind. You know, so that's why let somebody call him right now. All right.
Yeah, I just saw that too. I was just about to say.
All right.
I got
And
one
like,
more thing before we go,
yeah.
before we start the show. Joe got so upset today that he picked up a basketball.
Yep, went to go practice some free throws. He got
Man. So I let y'all know.
All right. And then Tom already mentioned it. Shout out to BWT. All your baseball content from Refuse to Lose goes through BWT. Baseball with Teddy. Teddy's been doing a great job with the show. Another episode had dropped yesterday, so make sure you gotta check that out. 2 episodes dropped already this week. Another one will be dropping this weekend, so y'all stay tuned for that. Once again, shout out to BWT. And last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. First topic, NBA Finals yesterday. Miami flew into Denver. Flight was already booked, right? Before Game 7 already started. Man, team up they were. They showed up to Denver, high altitude, from maybe mid-second quarter. It got crazy. And then Miami made little runs back and forth, but they never really got there to make a run and were pushed to take the lead. So, Dave, this is your squad. We got to kick off with you. What happened?
We should say Dave for last.
Nah, I don't mind going first. I feel like I need to get my points out the way anyway, because I predicted the Nuggets to win game 1. And they won in game 1. They were on 9-10 days rest. We had just finished the game 7, but I'm not saying that's an excuse of why we lost. We lost because we just shot terrible. We shot terrible. Gabe Vincent had 19 points, but other than him and Bam, everybody else played bad. Jimmy himself only had 13 points, only shot the ball 14 times, and then he had no free throws. We only had 2 free throws the entire game as a team. So we shot well. We shot well from the free throw line because we only shot 2. 2 or 2. Hey, when you only shoot 2 or 1 and you make both, hey, it's going to look good percentage-wise. But we weren't aggressive. We weren't aggressive at all either. We took way too many jump shots. We played like the Celtics in game 7. If you look at how we played, all we did was shoot jump shots the entire game. We weren't aggressive enough to drive the ball to really make any real, to be aggressive enough to be able to even draw some foul calls. So I'm not going to put this on the refs at all. This is on us as a team. We just did not do what we were supposed to do. We didn't play aggressive like we should have. And even though they had their 2 best players both had 25 plus, they played great. But we like Joe said, we made runs, but we couldn't make any stops. We made runs, but those runs were inconsistent. And then in the middle of those runs, we have like 2 or 3 turnovers in the middle of those runs. You're not going to be able to come back in the game when you're making a run and you're turning the ball over in the middle of those runs. That cuts all the momentum. And then Jokic was able to be pretty much have his way like he wanted to. In the first half he only had 4 points, but he had 10 assists. So he did everything he was supposed to do. In the first half, he wasn't a scorer. Then he balled out in the second half. Murray pretty much had his game in the first half. He had 20 points in the first half. So the thing is, in between those halves, Bam was the only person. Bam and Gabe Vincent were the only 2 that played well in that game. Jimmy has to step up. If Jimmy scores 20, and Caleb and Strus combined for 15, we win that game. We only lost by 11 points. The way that everyone else made it seem like we lost by 20. Now I understand they were up by 20 in that game, but we made runs to keep it close. We were the closest we made it was like 8 points. So we made some runs. We had some momentum coming up. We started making threes in the end. It was too late though. It was too little, too late. So we didn't do what we were supposed to do in game 1, and we got to make those adjustments in game two. Game two, we got to be able to get to the line more, because shooting 2 free throws in the game as a team, you're not going to win. I don't care who you are. You're not going to win a game only shooting 2 free throws as a team. So, and even if you look at everything else, they didn't out rebound us crazily. So I mean, I feel fine. I still feel like we're going to win game two. So, you know, good job, Denver, on game one. You did what you're supposed to do, and we played terrible.
Bring it in, Dave. Bring it in.
Nah, no hugs, no hugs, no hugs, no hugs. I'm not joining Cancun anytime soon.
Hey man, you gotta stand 10 toes down. 10 toes down. But look, man, I told y'all the stat 3 days ago, and I said it again yesterday on the show. 5+ days, history is behind them, man. When they're 10-6, and then they're 9-1 when they're at home, game one. We can update that now. It's 11-6, and then you can say with Denver's win, it's now 10-1. So history wasn't on you guys' side anyway, coming out the gate. But one thing we will have to say is, look, Joker, 27 points on 12 shots, 14 assists with 1 turnover. That boy out there showing y'all, man. I might have not won MVP this year. Y'all may have said I didn't deserve it last year, but my name is my name, and the game is the game. Murray's coming back. He's saying, hey, man, I know I was hurt last year. You know, Vaughn came on here and he put him at number 2 on his top 5. Not so average top 5. And yesterday kind of helped his debate as well, but because Jimmy didn't really show up like he was supposed to. There's another guy, though. We always talk about the others. Aaron Gordon, out the gate, was on fire. He was like, come on, man. He was getting rebounds. He was scoring buckets. I think he had like 13 points in the first quarter. Of course, he tapered off after that. But when you set a precedent like that, now your superstars can come in and just clean up. And that's what happened. Also, on the defensive end, Miami Heat, they were just lost in the trees because everybody on Denver was tall. It was just mismatches everywhere. I think they tried to put Gabe Vincent on Aaron Gordon at one point. Of course, that's why he came out swinging. He like, y'all gonna put this little guy on me. But also, I want to say, I put it in the chat. I said Aaron Gordon was looking like Casper from Uncle Drew because that's the way he was balling. We ain't seen this in a while. He was like, just give me the ball and I'm gonna dunk it. Another thing I want to throw out there is Miami. Dave, you said it. I was gonna say those exact words. Denver made you all look like the Celtics in Game 7. We were just like, go ahead, shoot the 3. Keep shooting the 3. We're gonna keep scoring. And even when you all came down, you cut the lead to 10. It still didn't feel like you all had a chance in that game, even when you cut it down to 10. Because, like you said, they couldn't get no stops. Denver was just showing that they were the better team yesterday. Joe.
It's a tall task for Miami. All right. I'm going to address this comment right here from my man DJ. If I'm a Heat fan, I'm still extremely optimistic. That was statistically the worst game Heat played all postseason. And the game was still fairly close. Miami shot better from 3 than Denver, y'all. All right. So let's keep that in mind. Miami shot 33% from 3. Denver shot 29. Denver also missed a lot of wide open threes. Miami is not known for a great rebounding team, but Denver is. Denver only had 2 more rebounds than them. Denver had 10 turnovers. Miami had 8. The difference is Miami's a really good half-court offense because they move the ball well. They do a lot of dribble handoffs. They'll bring Bam up as a point guard. He'll get that handoff screen on the top of the key. And then when Jokic is doing defense, he's playing a lot of drop coverage on Bam. So the jump shot is right there. And that's why they're shooting a lot of jump shots. But the difference, Denver half-court, I said this in the last episode, Denver half-court offense is the best in the postseason. They were getting layups. And like you said, Tomo, the size is a mismatch. Now, Eric Gordon, first of all, Michael Porter Jr. is like 6'10", right? Eric Gordon is like 6'9". Miami is naturally a small team. So there are sizable mismatches everywhere. Jamal Murray with Gabe Vincent. Like everybody is bigger. So what they did was, what LA did, LA is a much bigger team. LA was leaving Aaron Gordon wide open. While the Nuggets are like, I need you to sit in the dunking spot. Whoever you got, we're going to spread the floor out in the first half, and you can just go post one-on-one on whoever is on you because you're bigger than them anyway. And that's what they were doing with Aaron Gordon. And then Jokic and them are good in transition. that normally when you're running the ball, it creates mismatches. Like everybody's not on their man they're assigned to because of the transition. And y'all did a good job in transition, but once I got to the half court game, it's mismatches everywhere because of the threat of the transition. So it's gonna be a tall task for y'all. Right? Me personally, I think shout out to my man Philly podcast. Shout out to him. All right. All right. Congrats on your credentials also to the Philly Eagles world. All right. So look, also, this is what I think, Dave. Y'all need to do. Y'all need to make Jokic a scorer and make Jamal Murray a facilitator. That's what y'all got to do.
I'm so glad you said that's exactly what I was going to say at the end. But
Go ahead.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Now continue, but I agree.
Yeah, y'all need to do that because once again, Jokic is too smart, man. Like y'all a smart team, but Jokic he makes the right play every time. He's a more willing passer than scorer, like LeBron. So you want to make this dude be a scorer, let him drop 50, but you want to contain Murray. This is a tough task, and it's going to take 48 minutes because even Murray, you could contain him for 3.5 quarters, and we saw against LA, you hit like 5-3 straight. So you got to contain these people for 48 minutes straight. It's a tall task. Y'all got the mindset, the coach, and the leader to maintain that, but do y'all have the physicality, the size, and the athleticism to do that for 48 minutes? I don't know.
I mean, that's been the issue for us all season long, honestly. If you look at how our roster is constructed, we don't have a lot of physical guys. That's not what our roster is constructed of, and that's what I complained about all season long. If y'all remember all the things I said, we don't have a big to help out with Bam. Bam he's our center. He's only 6'9". He's our center. The other two bigs on our team is Kevin Love and Cody Zeller. These are not names where people be like, all right, you got some size, but it's like, all right, it's not everything. So, like
size
I said,
don't matter,
pause.
You said it.
I didn't say that exactly though, but those are some things that we just got to work on. I know what we can do, but we had sizable matchups against Milwaukee and against Boston, so that's what happens.
And go, you got something to talk about?
I was gonna say what you said about Denver and what you said about Miami shooting the three better. You also got to look at it like this. Denver went 0 for 9, I think, in the beginning from 3 of that fourth quarter. Things can change for them. They can actually play better. They didn't have a great game. They had I would say they had a decent game for their standards. So imagine what happens when they really bounce back. Because most people say game one is what, the filler game? That's really the filler game. And for them to go up 20 in a filler game kind of lets you know what they got under their sleeve. And look what they did against Miami. If you really want to use, against the Lakers, if you use that series, remember late in the first game one when they put Rui on Joker and everyone was saying like, did Malone really show his hand too early? Because not Malone, what's his name? Darvin Ham. Did Darvin Ham show his hand too early? Because Malone's a smart coach and he will make the adjustment. And what happened? He figured out that they want AD to be that free safety and they killed him with it. And I think Miami tried to do that when they tried to go to their 2-3 zone. And we all know with that zone, it was killing everybody in the East. But when you got a team out West who has the height and they all can shoot, you can easily pass out of that 2-3 zone. And with Joker being the smart player that he is or playmaker that he is with that height, of course, I'll let the defense shrink in and then I'll just pass it out. And hopefully one of my guys are either KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Murray, Aaron Gordon, Brown, Bruce, or the other Brown. It don't matter. Somebody can shoot. So it's a mental game at this point for Miami. It's not even physical.
Yeah, man. When they went into that zone, like Jokic did what you supposed to do. They attacked the middle. Even when Jokic went in the game, Jeff Green in the zone one play, flashed to the middle, got the ball, had a one-on-one matchup, did a jump hook, 2 points.
Yeah,
it's easy. I mean, I don't get it why NBA players don't know how to break the zone. But what the zone does, it gets you off rhythm. And it did get them off rhythm for a couple of plays. But like you said, like they got Jokic. He's a smart basketball player, and they're a smart team, and he's selfless. So the fact that he's selfless, it boosts the confidence of everybody else because they know they're gonna get their opportunities. They just gotta be ready. Like it's one play, man, that Jokic caught like on a block, and he had Butler on him. Man, that was crazy. Like he's posting up Butler, they double. Y'all don't need a double Jokic. Let me start there. Y'all show me double Jokic. Because he's gonna find the open man. Just let him be a scorer. And then he threw an overhead pass to Bruce Brown on the opposite side of the court in the corner.
Yeah, I know.
Without like he didn't even see him. Like so he's spitting all he I'm like, come on, man. Like Miami did it perfect. Y'all did y'all part. But Jokic found the open man.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
we just gotta like I said, I believe we'll make adjustments. So I want to see how this gonna be in game 2. I just need Jimmy to be more aggressive. If Jimmy is more aggressive and he actually plays the way he needs to as the leader, then
Mm-hmm.
we got a chance.
Well, the way he walked out of the game, you could see it. Like he was locked in. He was like, okay. He kind of like you could see him like thinking to himself, like, I know what we need to do. I know what we need to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, he on phase, and even at the post presser, I looked at the team. None of them looked dejected. They was just like, all right, it's game 1. They take care of home court advantage. It's the first game when we lost this playoffs, but it's the finals. We don't expect to go in and win the game 1 in everybody's house. We've been on the road all year, so we're not gonna win every single one. But we got to make adjustments.
And I also noticed this too. I'll just say this right quick, Joe. I noticed this too. If you look at the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference, just the style of basketball, like the way the Miami Heat play is for an Eastern Conference team. Like they're good, they're the grit, the grind, and the physicality. But when you come over out west, they're more up pace, and it's more half court. It's either they're fast paced or they're a half court team. But they see that a lot out west because if you look at the Kings. Or just me being a Wizards fan watching us whenever we would play a Western Conference team, you would just see how they break down certain specific moments of the game. Kings are up pace, like they play like the Warriors. It's fast paced, like you got to be there. But when you play a team like the Lakers, they kind of try to slow it down because they have older players. Now with the Heat, they play that style of 90s basketball where it's like I have a big man, but I also like we want to get to the rim. We're not really trying to shoot the three that much, but if it's there, we're gonna shoot it.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I felt like we got away from our game because our game is not all 3-point shooting. It helps what we do, but that's not all that we do. We're a mid-range down post kind of team that has shooters that can make 3-point shots. And that's why I disagree with this comment saying that we're Harden's Rockets. We're not that because we don't have somebody that's dominating the ball all game. We don't have that. So
I think he's talking about like how small y'all are. But like,
well, yeah, we're small, but we're not Harden's Rockets.
But like the reason why y'all took a lot of threes because how they defend y'all. They are inviting the jump shot. And also this, let's look at y'all run. Y'all play the Bucks, who have Giannis, who's limited. Y'all play the Knicks, who had Julius Randle, who's in Brunson. They both limited, right? Then you can play the Boston Celtics when Tatum is not like they're not the smartest team in the world. IQ is low. They're not there all the time. They're halfway here, halfway there. The Nuggets is everything y'all haven't seen. Like the Nuggets have they star player doesn't have a weakness, so he could beat you anywhere, anyhow. They are a high IQ basketball team, right? And they have great role players who play great together, and they have great defenders on the wing. And that's a problem with y'all. And that's why Bam had a good game because of that pick and roll. He had an easy jump shot, but Gabe Vincent and now it's gonna be tough for them. I thought I had good looks. I thought Denver did a terrible job on the screens. Y'all had good looks, but I also believe Nuggets had good looks too. That's why
I'm not disagreeing with that. I just feel like we got a chance. Everyone seems to think that it's over in 4 or 5. I highly doubt that happens.
I know we're about to move on to the next topic, but Dave, I said this off air and I should have said it on air. We keep comparing this run, or some people are comparing this run to that Mavs team. But if you really think about it, this run is really compared to that 2001 76ers team. If you take away all the awards that 76ers team won, that 2001 playoff finals run, Jimmy and them kind of remind me of that, where they were underdogs in almost every one of those series. And when they finally got to the finals, everyone was saying the same thing we're saying. They don't even have a chance to win a game. Oh, that was Iverson calling me, my bad. But he's like, they don't even have a chance to win the game, and they won one. They won the first one. But now with Denver winning, they're like, it's a sweep. Miami can get 1 or 2 games out of this.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But that Iverson was different.
Yeah, that was different.
I get what you're saying though. Like compare them to them versus the Mavs. I think the Mavs is a good comparison because they're not as good as the Mavs. The Mavs had a tough road, but this is probably the best since then. And I think that's what the conversation was because the Mavs, that Miami Heat team, were favorites from the beginning of the season.
Yep.
And LeBron won MVP, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
So was that Lakers squad in 01.
Or did Derrick Rose win MVP?
Yeah, D Rose won
I think
MVP
D
that
Rose
year.
won that year.
Yeah, but yeah. So and
Won
Jokic,
MVP the next season.
nobody picked the Nuggets and get this far. Nobody. Everybody's picking that. The Nuggets weren't even favored to beat the Suns when he got
That's same with both of these teams. Neither one of these teams was supposed to be here.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. So awesome. Hey, game 2 Sunday. We'll get to game 2. But before we continue to talk about this NBA Finals, there was a hire that was made, y'all. Earlier today, Dave dropped the bombshell in the chat. Frank Vogel signs with the Phoenix. Breaking news.
5 years, $31 million.
There you
5
go.
years.
Yeah, 5-year contract, y'all.
5 years, $31 million.
They can always just fire him though.
5 years. That's a lot of.
It don't affect the salary cap, one thing. But
yeah,
so 5 years, y'all. So Tomo, talk to us. Do you like that move for the Suns?
Why I gotta be the first person to talk about coaches, man? Y'all know this is a sore spot for me, man. I couldn't go last. I mean,
I can go first. That's cool.
Nah, I'll go. I mean, who can really coach the Suns team? Like, who would actually be a good fit? They need a Ty Lue. If he was out there, I would say a Ty Lue. A name that you always throw out there, Joe, is Sam Cassell. Frank Vogel, his track record ain't the best for him to be showing up with a team that's just mentally in pieces. I won't say fragile. I'll just say in pieces because you got CP3 who wants to win a ring. You got Devin Booker who says, I'm a superstar and y'all need to respect me as such, but also goes missing at times. Then you got Kevin Durant who's just like, look, I just want to play basketball. People want me to do all this other stuff. They want me to be a leader. They want me to do all this. I know I can score. I know I'm great, but I just want to play basketball. Like, leave me alone. And then you got Ayton, who's like, I don't even like this team. Like, I don't even like Phoenix. I just want to, sorry I lied to you, Martin. I just want to leave Arizona. That's what he's at with it. And think about Frank Vogel's career. Like, when he was with the Pacers, he had a good run. Then you had like Paul George, Hibbert, Granger, Lance, but he couldn't get past the Heat. He just couldn't get past that Miami team, regardless of what was happening. He just couldn't get past them. Then he went to Orlando, tried to bounce back. Then they got rid of him. Orlando said, look, I'll go get somebody that we don't even care about. And then he ended up with the Lakers. And, of course, he got that bubble ring, but we know how most people feel about that bubble. So, Frank, hats off to you, man. Hopefully you had some luck there, but I say all that to say no, it wasn't a good fit.
See, me, it's like my initial reaction, like Frank Vogel, what? I thought about it, and I'm like,
$8.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like that Martin reference to that. Was funny. So, okay, so I this reminds me of no, it's actually worse than this. All right, when Philly let go Brett Brown and got Doc Rivers, I was like, yeah, Doc is better, but I mean, I don't still see them going anywhere like far. It's like that, and the reason why I'm saying that because and I'm not saying Vogel is better than Monty Williams, but Frank Vogel, yeah, he's a good X and O coach. He had a similar story like Eric Spoelstra. They both came up they both were like doing media stuff first, and then they came into the coaching game, right? So he's good at like drawing up plays and stuff like that. He's a great defensive coach. He has a good defensive mind. He had that Paul George led Pacers team. They won 7 games with Bron in Miami Heat, and that Pacers team was not better than Miami at all. They won that game. That should never went 7 games. So I'll give Frank. Paul George wasn't at that elite stage yet.
But
so
when you get to game 7, when you get to game 7, when you get to a game 7,
that's what I'm saying. It was great coaching. I'm gonna give Frank Vogel some flowers for that.
It's not like Indiana was favored against Miami either.
They were not favored.
Nobody was favored against that team, but still.
Exactly.
And that's what makes it good for Frank Vogel. The fact that he wasn't favored and he took him to 7 games.
I'm sorry, man.
On his team.
I'm sorry, but he went up against the Randy Whitman Wizards as well, and it was He had way more talent than that team, and we went 6 games with him.
You told me y'all had John Wall now?
Yeah,
Yeah, but y'all made like a late comeback in that series. I remember that, and then they finished it off. You all right? But Roy Hibbert wasn't the same though. Remember he took a major dive in his. I don't know, don't know what happened to him. He went from 1 year to being a big shot
Him and
blocker, big
him and
anchor.
Danny Granger took a downfall. Both of them
Yeah,
did.
yeah. Then he had injuries though. Roy Hibbert, I couldn't even recognize
I
him.
know what Lance
He was
Stevens stole
trash.
their powers. That's what happened there.
Okay, like for real, Roy Hibbert looked like this, like Space Jam. It took his powers. Like I'm dead serious. He looked totally different. But I remember that series though. I was rooting for y'all too, Tom. And but so
That's when my
because I thought
optimism was through the
y'all had
roof.
a good chance to give him what's the name run for their money. But so I do so now, but here's my big issue with this whole situation. The reason why Monty got let go. So the reason why he got let go, obviously, we see the 2 blowouts and the team chemistry with A and all that stuff going on. But then did we not forget why Frank Vogel get let go? Like they couldn't get the team together. You know, he didn't have it. Like remember hearing Westbrook didn't really
Yeah,
they bumped heads a lot. He didn't have a role for Westbrook. You know all that stuff. But then on my other hand, I'm like the Lakers organization itself did a terrible job constructing a team for Frank Vogel. So I'm not mad at the move. I'm not mad at it at all. But only thing I'm mad at is if you're gonna get Frank Vogel, you should have kept Monty Williams. That's my thing. Because KD came over there, and Monty Williams was one of the reasons why he came over there. So, but obviously, getting Frank Vogel, I'm assuming KD has some word in to get him. And who else is available?
you could
You
trade
know,
for a coach. We've seen it happen before.
see, yeah, like you got veterans, you got KD. Like you can't, like they probably think like we ain't got time to get this new guy in. Let's get a proven vet who won a ring recently. What a dynamic duo. So that's why I'm not mad at it, but I'm thinking they should have just kept Monty Williams for all this.
I'm gonna let you go, Dave, before I say my point.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Joe on that last part. I definitely feel like they should have just kept Monty Williams. Monty Williams. I I I'm I don't think it's a bad move hiring Frank Vogel. I mean, look at the years he was with them. In 2011, 2012, when it was a shortened season, they won 42 games. Then the next year they won 45, 49. Then they won 56. Then they had a bad year in 2014, 2015. They won 30. They were 30 and 44. But then they went and won 45 games, and that's when he got fired. And he was coach for Orlando for 2 seasons. I mean, but Orlando hasn't been good for a while. So I mean, I can't really put that on him.
Still ain't. But yeah,
Oh, he made a call.
And then and then with the Lakers, like you said, that first season with the Lakers, bubble season, yes, but he went and won a championship that year. Then the next year they were 42 and 30. Then the next year they fired him. I don't put that. I don't put that. I don't put them being 33 and 49 on him though. Like I said, like Joe said, that roster wasn't constructed to be a good team for real.
Mm-hmm.
They went out and coveted Russell Westbrook, and I'm not saying that Russell Westbrook is a terrible player. Let's not get that misconstrued, because he's not a terrible player. He was just a terrible fit for the Lakers. He was not a good fit. I don't care what anyone says. He was not a good fit for the Lakers. They should have went and got Miles Turner and Buddy Hield.
facts.
That's what they should have did, because Buddy Hield was there. They could have had a chance to get Buddy Hield. That's shooting. That's what you needed. You went and got someone who is not known to be a shooter, who's a turnover machine. Yes, he can average triple doubles, and we know he's going to put up the effort. We know he's going to do whatever he can to drive the ball and get assists. We know that. But what LeBron needs is shooting, and that's not what that roster constructed. That roster did not have shooters. Look at the roster now. The roster now has people that can shoot. That's why they got all the way to the Western Conference Finals. And they were also a playing team. There were 2 playing teams that made the conference finals this year. So I'm not putting that on Frank Vogel. I think this was a good move, but I really feel like they should have just kept Monty Williams. I don't think Monty Williams, he would have did no different than what Frank Vogel did. Just me personally, I would have kept Monty. That's just me.
Now I'm glad you all brought that up, right? Because if new ownership and that's really part of the reason why they got rid of Monty Williams, right?
Mhm.
This right here, I mean, part of it. But if you think about it, them hiring Frank Vogel, of course, there's no one else out there, and you all saying they should have kept Monty. This lets me know now if I'm a player, ownership doesn't have a real direction that they want to go with this team. Because Frank Vogel and Monty, if you want to put them neck and neck, of course Frank does have the chip, but he had LeBron, and it was in the bubble. Like that team, like you gotta add all that to the argument. But Monty already had the post. So the only player that you really had to get rid of in this situation was Ayton. And you could probably deal Ayton for something else, for someone else, and get probably another big or maybe some more pieces for your bench. So if I'm a player, I'm probably looking at this in a whole nother spectrum. That was funny.
Yeah, man. Like I agree with this comment right here. Frank Vogel is a defensive coach, and that's what they need because offense is already elite. I agree with that. You know, that's why I said in the beginning.
They got to make
they got a lot of roster spots to fill in. They're gonna be in that free agency in that buyout market too. But like, I'm with Jim with that. That was one of my points in the beginning. He's a good defensive coach, and he's a good X's and O coach. Like he's a good coach. He's a good coach. Mm-hmm. It's just that how is he with superstars? And we all know he won a championship with AD and LeBron, but he did a terrible job in the locker room when Russ was there. And when Darvin Ham got there, you instantly saw a change in the locker room. In my opinion, I felt like the locker room changed once he got there. But but then my other breath, I don't want to blame Frank Vogel. I think the Lakers upstairs part of it is disgusting. There's too many people. They got too many inputs. Too many people are involved in the major decisions. So
yeah,
I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. There's so many people outside that's not even in the organization anymore that's still involved with it. And I'm like, yeah, that has to be a headache.
Fellas, do you all believe in a parallel universe?
Do I believe in it?
Yeah.
I do.
Thank you, Dave. So we got to start operating and looking at things like two things can be true. Frank Vogel can be a good coach, but the front office can also just be bad, or the front office can be terrible and the front office could be good, or Frank Vogel just isn't that good of a coach. Yeah. I mean, also when he got to LA, wasn't Jason Kidd like one of the assistant coaches? Like I think that's who they really wanted to hire, right?
I'm tripping. That's one of my points, Tomo. I need to know who's on the bench with Frank Vogel. I want to know that too. I want to know who's going to be part of his coaching staff. I thought Jay Kidd, like J-Mo point with defensively, he's going to bring that. He's going to make sure they become a tough, defensive-minded team. But your coaching staff is a lot. I think that's one of the reasons why Boston fell off. People don't know this. Damon Stoudemire was an assistant coach for Missoula. In the middle, right before the season ended, Damon Stoudemire took a job to coach college, and he left. And then when he left, Kendrick Perkins came out and said that's going to hurt them in the long run. And you can see it probably did. So that's going to be a big thing too. Because I think Jason Kidd had a big impact on that Lakers team that went in the bubble.
That's a good point.
But I like it though.
Looking at more often.
Where's time right now? The Nuggets.
Yeah, because of your ex-wizard.
They
don't like that.
Yeah, so
hey Dave, if y'all get Bradley Beal, you might win the finals.
Nah, I'm good.
I'll take player. Only got role players winning.
I'll take Jaylen Brown before I take Bradley Beal.
Yeah, hold on. Did y'all hear that Celtics losing some more that coaching staff because he's not going?
That makes sense.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I won't be surprised. So
shoot. Tatum and Brown not getting along with Joe Mazzulla right now. They just went ahead.
I don't think I ain't never hear that. Yeah, like
you ain't see it.
Tatum likes Mazzulla. Like Mazzulla is Tatum's guy.
Yeah, but they went and complained about Grant Williams not getting minutes. So
yeah, they talked about that.
Oh, they did. Okay, all right. Well, I didn't hear that, but they did build like a great relationship with Udoka, and he's been a big impact in their life. I think Jaylen Brown is going to Houston. They shoot y'all. So
I think that's good for him if he go.
Spurs, yeah. Now Udoka was with the Spurs for years, so that's where he learned from. So that Mike Brown, like the B. That's what good coaches come from the Spurs, man. Steve Kerr.
That's true. Nah, you're right.
That's right.
From the Spurs. Maybe I get Beckham. How about Becky Hammond? How about you get her? She's on the Spurs.
I promise you, I wanted her to coach the Wizards. I promise you, when they was looking for a coach, I was like, that's one of the
She's still
names me and my
available.
man threw out there.
She'll take an NBA job over a WNBA job any day.
She gonna
She'll
get
take
paid a
it.
lot more. I
I
would take it
know.
too.
She getting paid right now too, but a lot more with the NBA. As the first woman too, and then she start winning. She gonna set the precedent. She gonna get all these deals off the court because she's the first female to do this in NBA.
Like, imagine that your team, let's say you like Pistons, the Magic, or the Wizards, like teams that's bottom feeders right now, Hornets, teams like that that's always in the lottery. You do get Becky, and she takes your team to the finals in the next 2 years. Like, just
Oh
think about
wow,
that.
she
That'd be
will
a
be,
great look for Pop.
and for her, she just won last year. She just won with the then she coached
She won,
Vegas, right?
she won.
She
She
just,
won a summer league championship not too long ago too.
Yeah, she did. Yep, that's when
yeah,
Pop let her start getting her head coaching feel.
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see. All right, so all right, y'all. Great show. We're gonna do a speed round at the end of the show, but before we do that, listen, we are streaming this show on 3 platforms: Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure y'all. Let me check this. Oh, y'all. Let me make sure we there. Y'all. Hold on. Let me check it, y'all. Make sure y'all like it on all 3 platforms, and still at 699. All right, so we are sitting at 699 subscribers, y'all. If you're watching this right now, like it. First, like it, but subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And appreciate y'all for using that comment section. Y'all always in the comments, man. Like I said, the show is not the same without y'all. All right. So when the show start, we watching the number. How many people want? Okay. Anybody comment? Cause y'all generate the energy for the show. So we appreciate y'all using that comment section, right? And y'all been using it until the outro is over. Till you hit a reviews at the end. And Dave, talk about those IG chats we got going on.
Man,
It's been crazy.
today was a day. Like Joe said earlier in the show, we went from talking about Jokic to talking about Bradley Beal getting traded. I mean, that was Tom. Tom said that. But
Mm-hmm.
man,
Brady Bird later this time.
y'all got to
No,
join these chats. Y'all got to join these chats, man, because you're gonna get a lot of information in here. A lot of news in here. There was some news about Javonte Davis. Now he has to serve jail time because he during his 2020 where he was ordered, he was on house arrest. He was not home. He was staying in a hotel in a luxury condo. So now he got to serve 90 days. Now he has to serve 90 days in jail to you know to pretty much suffice what he was supposed to do when was on house arrest. So that's the kind of news that we put in there first, and we put it in immediately as soon as we get it. Um, I'm usually one of the first ones to put that news out there. That's how we found out about Frank Vogel. We were actually in the chat, in the voice chat when I announced it, and they was like, "Man, get out of here!" So
Yeah, you gotta tell you were trying to get the news, but we were still going at it. So, oh,
exactly,
yeah, breaking news, breaking
exactly.
news, breaking news. Ah, breaking news, y'all, breaking news.
They was like, man, we thought you was about to bring out the D Hop information, but you talking about Frank Vogel, man. We don't want to hear that right now. So, but yeah, I mean, it's great. We got the NBA chat. That's what we weren't on the NBA chat, but it was NBA topics that we were talking about. Then we have the NFL chat, Major League Baseball. Shout out to Teddy with BWT Baseball with Teddy. The college football, college basketball, men and women, and that's also WNBA when it comes to NBA topics as well.
Mm-hmm.
And boxing, mixing with some UFC, and like Tomo said, you might have some wrestling fans up in there. I know Tay definitely wants to talk about it sometimes. So that's that we got one, and I think Blaze as well, but I think Blaze still talks about it sometimes too. So we get you all the information in there first, and it'll be up there, man. So if you want to join these chats, let us know. We'll put you in any one of those chats. The only chat you can't join immediately is the Refuse to Lose VIP chat. You got to be able to come on the show in order to get in there. Other than that, that's it for me.
Let's get it. All right, y'all. And then once again, shout out to BWT, Baseball with Teddy. All your baseball content from Refuse to Lose goes through BWT. It's growing. He put out a new episode yesterday. Another one will be coming out this weekend. He already put out 2 this week so far. All right, so it's growing. Doing an awesome job. Once again, shout out to BWT. Shout out to Teddy. All right, and let's get our last words for the speed round first. Sorry, speed round first. Game 2 is Sunday. We won't be on, obviously, until Monday. So we got to get our picks. Game 2. I'm going to kick us off. Game 2, I'm going with Denver. Denver is undefeated. I don't see them losing a home game this series. And I think this game 2 is pivotal, y'all, for y'all, David. How y'all look? So I'll be watching it. I got the Nuggets.
Denver handles their business at home again. But then we'll get to see what Miami does when they go home. I feel like this is going to be one of them series where literally the first team that steals a home game is going to win the series. So I still got belief in Miami when they go back home. I just don't got them for game 2.
Yeah, I got belief in Miami for game 2. Like I said, I saw some things there where I feel like we're going to win. So Miami wins game 2.
That was Dave's chances right there. Y'all heard that door? That was their chances just closed.
Like poker face, David. Poker face.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So quickly, some last words, y'all. Commanders, man. Hey, once Tomo, man. Tomo, I keep telling y'all. That's funny. All right. But look, let's see, Dave, your jersey coming. All right, your jersey's coming. But look, Commanders, man, we looking good. Eric Bieniemy did a press conference with the OTA so far. I'm loving what I'm hearing. We have 3 head coaches in our locker room. Del Rio is a head coach, Ron Rivera, and Eric Bieniemy. Whole coach is changing. NFC East, NFL, watch out.
You might just want to say NFL. NFC East, we already know what y'all about, man. We know what y'all about. We still waiting to see as me personally, I can't say I got to see what Sam Howell is about because he was howling all day on that last game against us. So y'all got it right now. I'll let the Eagles and Giants handle that. But for me, Wizards, we got a lot of hope. Man, that's funny. Both my teams got a lot of hope going into the offseason. We got a lot of new changes. We got our offensive coordinator in Dallas is gone. We got to figure out how the plays going to be called there. But also with the Wizards, we got to figure out if we actually going to get a GM or if the new president is going to take over for that. So it's gonna be a great all season, man. You know, and Tony Pollard's back, so we got a lot of stuff to. You talking about watch out? You got a lot of stuff to watch out for too. Cause CeeDee Lamb told y'all he a top 5 receiver. Dave.
My last words. I know I haven't said much about San Francisco, but I like what I'm hearing about Trey Lance in the offseason. His mechanics got a lot better, and right now he's taking all first team reps. I understand that. Brock Purdy has his surgery was successful, and he's now starting to throw now. But I like what I'm hearing about both of them. I don't believe in Sam Darnold at all. So I'm get that out the way. But I like what I'm hearing. I still feel like we still got some other things to really fix to really make it to the Super Bowl again. But I like what I'm hearing. And Miami, game 2 Sunday. Don't prove me right. Don't prove me wrong. Prove me right. Go up there and win game 2 when no one thinks you can win. Go up there and win the game.
Let's get it.
I like the 180.
700 subscribers coming up. That's all we have for y'all today. And we'll see y'all next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.